learn to read in K1-2 so that they can read to learn in 3-4-5. That's the ideal hump of instruction. We learn to read in K1-2 so that we can read to learn in 3-4-5. Because nothing after second grade is involving in curriculum learning how to read. Once kids are in third grade, it's all about reading for a purpose, drawing an inference, making a prediction, pulling information from text. The test is not about learning how to read. The test that learners take is all about what can you do with your reading capability. With the reading ability that you have, what can you do with it? And how much processing power is it taking up for you to be able to make your way through that text? And what's left over for you to actually draw an inference, see the irony, laugh at the joke, notice the motivation that's maybe not written in spoken word, but that you can understand or relate to as a reader of why the character did what she did. Those things require some thinking power. They require some attention. And if your attention is completely focused on what letter is that, what pattern is it, what sound does it make, that didn't work, what else can I try, what else could it be? You don't have what you need for that depth of complexity when it comes to testing and what learners are required to do at a very early age. Now, we'll often mistake that for comprehension issues. But if a learner laughs at the joke when you read it, interrupts you while you're reading the story to tell you how they went to the same place last summer when they went on vacation with their family, their problem's not comprehension. Their problem's comprehension when they also have to do the reading. Which means their real problem is automaticity of skills, automaticity with the code. Having it so deep in the gut that it's not even on the radar, they're like we are. They are just so automatic, they're not even thinking about letters and sounds. They're pulled into the reading or they're expressing themselves in their writing. And their focus is everywhere else except what does Y say? Because that can't be anywhere near the forefront of thought. Now, when we talk about automaticity with skills, we're talking about the code. And I gave you a little glimpse of what that little elephant can look like when it's in the room, because the Y is just one little piece. Imagine, for example, that you went to Las Vegas and you had $100 and you had to put your money on whether or not you would see a letter that looks like this, say, ts, or most of the time in any book you pick up in the hotel or in the city. Any book you pick up, are you going to see the letter that looks like this, say, ts, or the most? Raise your hand if you think you'll see it saying ts, the most. Okay, what about? Now, for those of you that are sticklers, you might say, well, but you said T, you didn't say TH. T doesn't say TH, says, you said what sound will this letter make? If you look at it from the bottom up, which learners are always looking at things from the bottom up, they just know there's a letter looks like this. She says, you see a letter looks like this. It's called T. It goes T. So I see this letter everywhere. It's in every book I have. And every time I see this letter, I go T. And I'm always wrong. And I don't even know why she says to go to, because she doesn't do that. She sees the letter, it looks like this in all our big books, and she doesn't go to. She sticks her tongue out and does something else, and I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, she gets the word. She has no problem reading the word. I can't read it at all. I wish she'd tell me the tongue trick she uses to read the word. Now, the TH is not formally appearing on the scope and sequence of instruction, curriculum-wise, until first grade, somewhere around fall. You couldn't get through the first hour of pre-K without having that pattern hit you in every book you pick up to read or anything you would even think about trying to write. So it's harder in the earlier grade levels because the access is solely on individual letters and sounds. That is what their tool base consists of in kindergarten. And the individual letters and sounds behave beautifully when they're on the wall on an alphabet train. But when they jump off of that train and get into words where they're butted up against other letters like themselves, it's almost as if little electrical currents go off and a whole nother sound can emerge. And we, as teachers who what would I call it? We literally just try to bombard learners, not bombard because that sounds negative, and there's a word I'm looking for that I can't think of right now, but we just engage them with text on a constant basis. So they're getting far more reinforcement of the inconsistencies than they are on the consistencies. And if truth be told, if you were a betting person, the likelihood that the letters are actually going to make the sounds they do in the alphabet are about 10 to 1 across the board, because almost all of them have other sounds that they much more enjoy making when they're in actual words. So any kind of reinforcement with text will negate the efforts that we put into learning the individual letters and sounds, which is the base of our instruction at the earliest grade levels. And I'm still talking to this microphone that is not even on, so I'm going to just move over here.